What has been the biggest change for you this year in terms of teaching STEM?
So in teaching STEM, the biggest challenge so far has definitely been teaching coding. So we had never thought of it before and I had no experience of it. So we partnered with Coding Ireland and they provided us with some structure to lessons and we were able to get going with coding, which was really successful and the children enjoyed it.
What upskilling have you done in the STEM area of school?
I suppose STEM has always been like a huge interest of mine. I've been doing it for the last few years. I do loads of face-to-face courses in education centres, such as things like BBOTS or Lego We Do Kids, and then I bring those ideas then into the school. I worked with a company called Designer Minds for a summer where we travelled all over Ireland introducing STEAM concepts to children, and that's kind of where I started working with Raspberry Pi and Lightbot and all those kind of coding activities, and it was a great chance to actually get to grips with using STEM activities and bringing ideas back into school that we can use. I've done like workshops and courses with Coding Ireland, and I suppose the biggest one I thought was beneficial was a course I did in Mary I this summer with Maeve Liston and Eleanor Walsh, and there was lots of different activities that they did, so that's where I kind of got the idea of Scribblebots and bringing microbits and all those kind of different things, working with Dream Space and Meet the Scientist, and it was a great way of building contacts and bringing new ideas back into school, which is how we ended up setting up the coding and STEM idea for this year. So,
Do you enjoy doing STEM activities in class?
Yes, I really enjoy doing STEM activities in class because it's really collaborative, it's hands-on, it's enjoyable, it promotes critical thinking because often the children are given a challenge of having to build or design something, so they have to collaborate with their peers, work together, and even there's collaboration between teachers and students if it's a tricky challenge that we all have to think together, help each other out. So I really enjoy teaching it for those reasons.
Which STEM activities have the children been most engaged with?
So in my classroom I would have to say the engineering challenges. They've really enjoyed those. So one activity we did was they were given a sheet of paper and they had to design a structure that would hold a couple of school books, and then the challenge was further developed by seeing how many school books one sheet of paper was able to hold and support.
Do you think it's important that we teach them the skills for computational thinking through activities such as coding?
yeah, 100%. I think children are more engaged with coding than actually doing those kind of skills through maybe maths lessons out of a book or English lessons or whatever. For some reason coding has really taken off in our school, and technology, they love any chance to be able to use it. So I suppose when we gathered feedback from our parents, most of them said that it sets them up for life skills, which is kind of true because in the future they can make their own apps, websites, kind of things like that, and it's great for like even presentation skills and just overall confidence, and knowing that like it's normal to make mistakes, that they can go back over their steps and retrace back where they could maybe problem solve and make an improvement on their design or their whatever challenges came up for them.
What difference have you noticed in your class as a result of focusing on STEM coding this year?
Definitely resilience. At the start of the year I found a lot of my class were quite needy, and instead of trying to do challenges themselves, they were constantly looking for me or some other adult to help them instead of maybe giving it a go at the start. So I suppose to them it was the fear of not getting it right the first time or making a mistake, and it would knock their confidence. But the more we started doing it, the more confident they became, and they kind of learned the logical sequencing skills of like tracing back over your steps, try and find where the problem is, fix it, see does it work. And we had an engineer in there, Brian Maloney, there for Engineers Week, and I thought it was interesting when the kids asked him, do you fail in your job, which I don't think he realised was quite a big question for that child to be asking, and it was really interesting to hear him say that he fails constantly over and over again. That's kind of the job of an engineer, to fail it over and over again, but to problem solve and find a solution for that answer. So
Time in an overcrowded curriculum is a huge problem in Irish schools. Do you find this to be the case, and how did you manage it?
Yes, so the primary school curriculum is really overcrowded. We have 11 or 12 subjects that we need to teach every day. They all have a certain time allocation that we need to meet every week.
not counting the extra bits that crop up, like
Yeah.
communion singing,
Practice
or
for choir.
people randomly coming in, or so on.
So we found that integrating it was really, I suppose, crucial in allowing it to be successful. So particularly with geography and science, like STEM really lends itself to integration with those subjects. For example, you can explore sustainability through building different structures, or looking at eco-villages and building lighthouses. And also in terms of literacy, you can integrate procedural writing, report writing. So integration was really crucial in allowing STEM to be successful in our school.
Is it something you would like to continue in the future?
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to continue it. I think most of my kids, especially from the feedback that we did on surveys, everyone seemed to really enjoy it. The feedback from parents as well was really, really positive. So I think they did learn a lot more skills this year.
Yeah, I think a lot more collaboration, and particularly after COVID, when we were isolated with bubbles and pods
Yeah.
and
And learning to
etc.
think for
Yeah.
themselves, and presentation skills, they're often skills that you
Yeah.
need in life. And I suppose we know now that it's an area that children enjoy doing, so the goal is to keep it going and try and improve every time.
What changes would you make?
So the idea we had at the start was to do peer tutoring, but because a lot of children were new to coding and using iPads, it was actually quite a challenge to set it up at the start of the year. So we did get around to peer tutoring with like the Bbots and bits and pieces like that, but it's just been such a busy year with coming back after COVID, being able to go on tours, do everything again, that I would hope that next year maybe to do after school clubs to allow more time for it, and even just having our digital team go around to classes by themselves now that they're more confident in using it themselves, because they know how to use and set things up from this year's progress. So.
Did you find it difficult at first to get to grips with?
Yes, so for me, I had little to no experience of coding or STEM. So for me, it was really learning on the job opportunity. So I was nearly learning with the children as we were exploring coding particularly. So I was often the night before doing the lesson myself on the laptop, trying to make sure that I'd be able to deliver it in a way that the children understood what they need to do. But I found that the children really, I suppose STEM provides them an opportunity to show their strengths, and they were nearly helping me help them throughout all the different STEM activities and coding that we did this year.
Do you see the benefits of integration in providing these coding activities for your students?
Yeah, 100%. Like the question before that Lena answered about the curriculum being totally overcrowded, we do need to integrate it. But I did find it really worked well this year, and I saw kids that normally wouldn't speak out, or they'd be quite shy in class. It was really their time to shine. We did a fabulous STEM fair inside the hall, and it was amazing to see some of the creations that kids came up with on their own. So when we did the sustainable village and all the solar panel houses and all that, one of the children actually coded a story behind it all on Scratch, which I thought was really, really interesting. And at the moment we're actually doing a collaboration with Mary I on a project on bees, so it was great to have parents wanting to get involved. It was bringing it around to see that STEM is important in our daily lives, and we were able to integrate the bees projects into like science, geography, like SPHE, things like explanation writing how bees make honey. So yeah, I think if we didn't integrate, it probably wouldn't be an option for us to stay going. Yeah, and that's it. Done.